Hello, YouTube. Ray Costume here, along with your my co-host, Mr. J, or my other host, Mr. J315, and my co-host, Yeo, and I'm joined here today with Yuo. I don't know how you pronounce it. Yuo. And
it's always Yuo.
I never knew how to pronounce it. And I'm joined here with Ghost Van Queef and
Why you saying my name wrong?
King Tiny.
I'm sorry, Princess Nigger.
Whatever, I like it. It's lit.
Princess Nigger, that's her name now. But yes, how are you guys doing today? What topics do y'all got going on today? Would you like to start us off today, Mr. J?
Oh, why me?
Because I just because you.
Because it's new.
Well, my latest, I guess you could call it, my latest, not addiction, my latest, what do you call it when you're like thinking about something a whole bunch?
Your latest obsession?
Yeah, there we go, that word. My latest obsession is, slavery and, wanting to be a slave master.
That's not okay.
And
not okay.
No. It's not in the way you think, though.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the way I was talking about it is I'd want to own a slave I'd want to own like two people from each ethnicity, and just have them be my slaves. Just run a little slave camp, just to chill and see how it'd be.
What? Well,
no.
Why though?
Because I think it would be like kind of interesting to see how it would be.
I think they'll kill you.
Like, I don't want to do just black people. That's so outplayed. Or just like Mexican
What do you
people.
mean? What do you mean?
So overdone.
So outplayed.
Like, everybody does it. Everybody did it. I mean,
Everybody?
Everybody's enslaved black people. They're so out of touch. I want to enslave a new race. What's wrong?
I want to
with
enslave.
you?
I know. I want to enslave all races.
But,
I want to be the world's greatest hero.
Well, that's not a hero. I'm pretty sure after like whenever you're done with the
whenever I'm done, like I'd want to do it for a day though, not forever. But I'm pretty sure, after that day, they'd all want to just murder me.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
as soon as that day is over with, I'm pretty sure like you're like, yeah, you guys are free, and they're all gonna just kill you immediately on the spot. What's wrong with you?
I think it would be really funny. I think I'd be a hilarious slave owner. I'd wake up in the morning, put on my shiny ass boots, my uniform, put on my glasses, my sunglasses, my aviators, and I'd be like, all right, listen up, fucking slaves. Today you're gonna kiss my ass like usual. Now I expect you to go out in the fields. You're not picking fucking cotton. What the fuck is that shit?
Oh, okay, so
clothes. You're out there fucking picking something real. Go out there and shuck the fucking corn.
I have a question. So you say you want
to shuck it.
So you say you want the slaves. What would they be slaving? What would they be doing for you?
I just told you. First of all, they'd be shucking corn. Because we use corn for like everything. So they'd be shucking corn.
What's wrong with you?
That's one. That's for one. They'd be shucking corn.
I've shucked corn before.
You what?
I've shucked corn before at this in this 4th grade field trip. We took this camp. I was shucking corn.
How was it?
It was kind of cool. It was like kind of gooey at the beginning.
And they'd be doing it with their bare hands. And I'd monitor them every 15 minutes. But then I'd switch it up to make sure they're not lollygagging. I'd ride out on my horse whip, and I'd make sure if I saw any slacking. And like I said, I'd have a right-hand man to tell me if it's slacking.
Didn't you say it would be Leonard?
Yeah, I'd have Leonard as the inside man, the mole, to tell me if they're fucking around. So I'll go out there and just fucking crack my whip, assert my dominance, and say, hey, pussies, I heard somebody's not getting to work on this field. It looks like I'm gonna have to make some examples out of you.
Would you call them racial slurs?
No, because
wouldn't be.
You know, not everybody's cool. Not everybody's cool with that. You know.
Okay, so you're saying
I'd be a very strict slave master, but I'd also be a fair one.
But no. You're saying not everybody's cool with being called racial slurs, but they're gonna be in slavery. I don't think anyone's cool with being in slavery.
Do I tell you how to run your slave camp?
I'm not.
Okay, then suck my dick.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying at all that. Shut up. It just doesn't make sense that you're saying it would be mean to call them racial slurs, even though they're gonna be in slavery. I think
I'm a nice person, you fuck.
They're gonna be in slavery. They're not gonna think you're nice.
It's not about what you think. It's about what
I don't think any normal person will be like, you know what? This slave master, he beats me. He makes me shuck corn all day.
Who said I was gonna beat them?
You said that you will whip them.
I said if they were messing up in the fields, I'd have to make an example out of somebody.
How you gonna make an example out of them? Explain.
You never let me get to it. You never let me get to it.
Okay, yes. Okay, explain then. Explain right now how you would make an example out of the slaves without beating them.
I'd take them and I'd be like, look here. You're starting to really piss me off, and I'm gonna beat your ass and get your act together. All right?
Yo, this reminds me of the "If Slavery Was a Choice" memes.
Oh, I used to love those memes. If slavery was a choice.
Oh shit!
When that was going on, they should have really shown some Boondocks when Uncle Ruckus' version of slavery.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that was perfect. That'd be sitting on the
watermelon,
chicken. just sitting chilling. Hey, Massa can pick his own cotton. I don't got to do this for him. Massa lazy.
And I'd have cameras monitoring them at all times so the world could see what I'm doing with my slaves.
That's still not okay.
You would make a lot of money if it's broadcasted on like YouTube.
It's gonna be going live every hour until it's over.
So you're gonna have a 24-hour live stream of you abusing people for a 24-hour stream.
I didn't say I was gonna be abusing them.
They're gonna be on a field.
You're abusing them.
They're gonna be on a field.
Who said I wouldn't put them in nice houses? Because I didn't say I wasn't gonna put them in nice houses.
So you don't. It's okay. So, but you didn't finish saying how you would punish them. Finish telling me how you would punish them.
All right, I'd take the one who was I'd take one strong-willed one who was disobeying, and I'd be like, all right.
Strong-willed one.
Come out.
Your name is Toby.
Come out. Your name is Toby.
And I tie him to a tree. I'm like, all right,
okay,
good. Now, and I call all the slaves around. I'm like, this is what happens when you disobey, master.
Okay.
I tie him to crack the whip. I crack it near their face, near their body, but I wouldn't hit them. I just keep cracking it near them.
I still don't think.
Now See, I wouldn't ever hit them. This would just install the fear. They'd know not to fuck around at that point.
That's still not okay.
My name is Jeffrey.
Look.
Your name is Quintak. My name is Jeffrey.
I do that.
Your name is Quintak.
I keep cracking it around their face. But then, like, if they disobeyed me again after that demonstration, then I'd actually whoop their fucking ass.
So
like, you can't have disobedient slaves.
Okay, so what if you say, like, what if they think you're like just a pushover because you don't actually beat them, and then you start beating them, and you think they ain't going to?
They're gonna know I wasn't fucking around.
But the thing is, you're still saying.
Do you not think that every slave wanted to kill their fucking master? Because I do.
I know every no. Well, I mean, you know they did have the.
Besides the fucking disgusting traitor bitch ass slaves.
The house niggas.
The house. I mean, that's what I would. If we were in slavery, I think I would be the house nigga because I'm light skinned.
But
if
we
were in slavery,
If
we were in slavery, me, Destiny, me and you would be the house niggas because we light skinned, and Cameron and
Jacory would be roaming around the house, and I'd be all the way out there in the farthest reaches of the field, possibly right next to the river, possibly able to escape.
But yeah, that's my dream to be a slave owner right there. What do you guys think about it?
I don't think it's okay because I'm pretty sure immediately the day afterwards they're gonna kill you.
Well, look, we'll cross that bridge when we cross it.
What?
Okay?
What do you mean?
What bridge?
Well, no, he's talking about the bridge
of
killing him.
Getting beheaded.
It's not a possibility. They're gonna kill you. If I was one of them, I'd kill you. And I still wouldn't think, you know, he didn't call me a racial slur, so he's okay. No, I'd want to kill you even more because it's like, Yeah.
I mean, but like honestly, if you really think about it,
you'd say getting
no
your ass
one's
beat
gonna
in.
be like, yeah, let me be your slave.
Wait.
I mean, Destiny, that's the point. They don't get a choice.
No one's gonna let you enslave them. That's what I'm saying.
See, I randomly select.
I better tranquilize a dart to let them.
Yeah, I randomly select 2 people of each ethnicity. I kidnap them. The government allows me to kidnap these people. I kidnap them, take them to my plantation.
Yeah, all you have to say is Snowden. All you have to say is Snowden's location. They'll let you do it.
You know who?
Edward Snowden's location.
Who the hell is that?
The guy who who released all the information back in 2015. And he fled from the nation. He could have gotten him incarcerated.
Okay. So you say that, and they're like, you know what? Go ahead, raise this field, do something to help America.
Yeah. We gotta get this dude.
Use a good nigga.
But
good boy.
You would have to give them a random location, right?
Yeah,
this is assuming he knew where they were. He knew where he was. This is assuming that he knew where he was.
That's stupid.
Man, I don't think that's I don't think that idea is good in any way, shape, form, or fashion. But I mean, we do get slaved at Walmart, so it's only fair that we slave someone else in turn.
Hey, don't tell people where I work, cunt.
Oh.
Edit it.
Fine, okay, yeah, I'll cut that out. But
no, you don't have to cut it out. Just don't tell them where I fucking work. You didn't tell them the location.
We work at one, but me and him, we do work at a store that is very famous that lots of people.
It's Walmart.
I work at a Whataburger where it's common for hobos to come in and chill.
You know what happened to me on the way home? So I was sitting on the last bus.
Did you get raped?
Look here.
Is this your topic?
No, you know what? I'm gonna make it my topic since Destiny's gonna be a scumbag. So I don't know if y'all I don't like you, Destiny. I hate you. I'm gonna get to that in a second, scumbag. But so I was sitting at the bus stop waiting, and the dude, it was like these 2 old dudes sitting next to me, and I was like, God, I hope they don't talk to me. And one of them, at first he was trying to start casually asking questions and stuff, and then eventually he was like, hey, he asked me if I went to some bar like Hooters or something, and I was like,
hey nigga, you got ass. Is that what you did?
No.
I don't think that's why you go to Hooters. You go to Hooters to see their giant owl titties.
He said I forgot what the bar was called, but he said he went there, and he said that they had shorts that were like underwear. He said he fell out the chair and he sprained his hip trying to grab one of them. That's what he told me. And I was like, that's not okay. But he was like, yeah, you should go there. You 19, I was going at 17. You go there, yeah, be able to get. He said he'd be able to get some bad women. I was like, I mean, I was
hey, yo, Michael, what about the guy today? He was telling us not to go out there fucking prostitutes on this and that.
Oh yeah, me and Jacory was in Jack in the Box. It was another dude who was sitting, they're just sitting being stupid in the Jack in the Box, and I think I was telling Jacory something about prostitutes, and he heard us, and he was like, hey, he said, y'all don't know nothing about prostitutes. And he said something like, y'all don't know nothing about prostitutes.
He's like, y'all young. Y'all shouldn't be out there trying to go get prostitutes anyway. You should be out there trying to get those young somethings. And
yeah, he said those young somethings.
Thoughts?
No, he said something, but it was like, it was something like dames or something like that. I don't know.
But he said y'all should be out there trying to get them. And he said if you get anywhere near them, you should get a penicillin shot. And I was like, all right.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was funny, but I don't know.
Wild.
I don't know if y'all know. I don't know if I told all y'all. I know I told Destiny. I think I told everybody except for everybody knows this story except for Raul. I guess I'll tell it just for the podcast. So I was walking. It's not funny. It is not funny in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Why do you laugh at it every time?
Michael, I'm a warrior.
So I was sitting. I like you, Kevin. So I was sitting on the phone with Jacory one day. This is like I don't know how many. It was like a year ago. It wasn't too long ago.
It's more important than drinking water.
I was sitting on the phone talking to Jacory, and this dude this dude, he showed up out of nowhere. I had seen him a couple nights prior, and I thought nothing of it. Like he was like, hey, he asked me something, and he got my number, and he was like texting me, but I was like, I didn't really. I was like, I don't know who this dude is. I don't want to text him, so I just stopped texting him. I started ignoring him, and then he ran across me one day, and I was like, and like he was sitting talking, and then the dude he started trying to touch on me and stuff.
It's more important than pretending I'm a healthy human being.
Funny. I don't know why you laugh. The dude started trying to he said because people
Buddha is more important than your anal virginity.
He complimented me. He complimented me. Like a lot of people always say, "Oh, Michael, you like." People always like they always be surprised because like, I think I was wearing like I don't think I was wearing like a shirt. I think I was wearing like a wife beater, and like my muscles were showing. And people were always like, "Oh, Michael, you look buff and stuff like that." And he was like, "Oh yeah, you look kind of buff," and I was like, "Oh yeah, thank you." Because I mean, I didn't think nothing of it because people always say something about that. So he said that, and then he started trying to touch me.
A man's butt.
He started trying to touch me in my nether regions. So he started trying to touch me in my nether regions, and I was like, that's not.
Give me that butt, Mike.
Yeah, and I was like, I was really confused and really scared, and I was like, Corey, I don't know what to do.
Why'd you give him your number?
Because I didn't think.
Because
probably
Michael,
why.
Michael, it's the same reason you got drunk from those dudes who did not even know. You're just super social, and you kind of want to just like want to roll with everything.
The thing
that
is,
the problem.
okay. The reason that I did that because Gabriel, he kind of. I'm not mad at him or anything, but he was like, "Hey, Michael, let's just do it, just have fun." And I was like, "All right, sure." But no, the thing, like with him, I didn't think anything of it. Like he asked me for something, and I was like, I forgot why I gave him my number, but I didn't like text him or anything. I wasn't like just.
That's what I'm talking about. You're just social, and you don't want to like just tell people no.
I mean,
exactly.
No, I've started doing that a lot more now. Like this dude, he asked me for
now.
Yeah, like this dude, he asked me for money. Like the dude, he came up to me and was like, "Hey man, you got some money?" I said, "Leave me alone, go away." I understand now. You can't be nice to everybody. Because
Does Michael keep cutting out for anybody else?
Yeah. He's doing it for me too.
So I understand that you can't be nice to everybody because people on this planet are they're scum.
I learned that lesson a long time ago when I was a little boy.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I kept getting screwed over, so then I stopped talking to people for like a year.
I don't
until
know
like middle school.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah, I'm about to say I don't know if that's.
Well, I mean, technically like a year or like a year and a half or something like that.
What do you mean by mess? Like, what do people do to you to make you upset? Are you talking about that thing with the girl?
No, not that.
Tell that story. You should
Not
tell
that
that story.
particularly.
You should tell that story. That story is funny.
Why should I tell that story?
It's funny. I think it's funny.
You think it's funny?
I'm interested.
You see, Destiny's interested. Now you gotta say it.
Well, fuck her. Fuck you.
Well, I mean, I could tell one similar though. It's not nearly as messed up as yours, but
What
I remember.
girl are you even talking about? You gotta jog my memory.
Where you almost like went to jail or had a like.
Oh, dude, man, that was like fucked up. Yeah, I think it was. That was the actual occasion that made me stop talking to people and stop trusting people as much. It was that particular occasion. So this was in elementary school. I think like
elementary school? Damn.
Yes, it was
yeah,
that
like
long
something
ago.
crazy like that. And this new girl came to the school, and her name was Majesty. And I was like, oh, okay. And she was really pretty. And I was like, okay, so maybe I have a chance. So I talked to her.
Sad.
And we quickly formed some sort of relationship. And I was like, cool.
Hashtag me too.
Yeah, I was like, okay, cool. And everything was going great. And then she started becoming a lot more touchy-feely. She wanted me to like touch her a lot more. And I was like, okay. So then I did. And then she wanted to take it to the next level. She wanted to take it to the next level. And I was like, wait, hold on now. I don't know nothing about that. I don't got no protection. we don't got nowhere to even do that. Let's not. And she got upset, and things went downhill from there until eventually I ended up having to like break it off because she was like going to crazy. She showed up to class one day with the Bible, and she read the scripture where it was like, a man and woman are supposed to procreate and be fruitful and multiply. And she read that in class, and the teacher told her like put it up, and she was like looking at me when she said it. She was like saying it with such like passion. And after that, like we were.
She's a religiously convicted slut.
And we weren't together anymore. And one day, I went to the water fountain and I saw her there to go get a drink of water. And she like walked in front of me, and instead of letting me drink from the taller one, she took the taller one. So I had to drink from the shorter one. And back then, I was still very tall, and my arms were like still like long. So I'm trying to drink from the shorter one, and it was one of the ones where the fountains like literally stuck to each other. So I bend down to get myself some to drink, and the way you have to turn those on, you have to press on the side. So I press on the side, and my elbow like jabs in the side a little, and I say, "Oh, I'm sorry." Like I think the next day, I get called to the principal's office, and there's a police officer or two in there. My parents are there, her parents are there, and they're like, "Yeah." They said you assaulted her, and I was like, "What? No!" And I was like explaining the situation to them.
Whoa, wait, couldn't they look at the cameras?
I don't know if they had cameras.
Schools back then didn't have cameras.
No, schools back then did have cameras. That's a lie.
No.
Yeah, they did.
Back then they did have cameras.
This school was very shitty.
Why?
You don't understand. The whole school was literally, I think, like 3 or 4 sets of T-buildings.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, no. It was like
they have
buildings that
two
aren't a
buildings
part
that
of the
live there.
building.
Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, those didn't have cameras.
So like, yeah, and like they were there and they kept asking me what happened over and over again, and she was like crying, and I kept saying the same story over and over again. Like, yeah, that's exactly what happened. I went to go get a drink of water. She was there. My elbow accidentally jabbed her. I said, "I'm sorry." She walked away. That was it. And then like after that, they were like, "Okay, so we're not gonna press charges, but we should probably limit their contact with each other." And I was like, "Okay." And then my parents like looked at me and they were like, "Yeah, you don't need a girlfriend right now." And I was like, "Okay." So then I didn't talk to like a girl for like I think a good year or two, and I started talking to people as much. And after that, they like came in my room one day and they're like, "Hey, Jacory, are you gay?" And I was like, "No."
Oh, so you don't remember when I was accused of sexual assault when I was like 10?
They asked you if you were gay.
Yeah, and then like after that, I started dating, and like, yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And by that time, I was in middle school and everything. So yeah.
I remember.
But that's the time I nearly got a freaking felony charge at a young age.
I remember in middle school, it was like some dance going on. I think I told you this. It was like some dance going on, and I got a girlfriend at this dance, and she's like this really, really pretty girl. She's this really pretty girl, and me and her like we hit it off at the dance. We were like happy, content with each other, and I guess I don't know. People just didn't like the fact that I dated her, so they lied to her and they told her. They was like, "Yeah, Michael cheated on you. Don't you know that?" And so she broke up with me. And I was like,
it's probably because she was bad and like a lot of swag bags on her or something.
Yeah, I didn't. I'm getting that could have been it, but I was like, they said, "Yeah, Michael cheated on you," and I was like, and she didn't even ask me. She just broke up with me. And I was like, "I never cheated on you. I don't know why you believe these people. They don't like me. You should know that." But okay. So we broke up, and I was quite upset. It was people like them were scumbags. It was something else I wanted to say that was along those same lines. You know, people like them, they were scumbags. Oh yeah. I remember back in middle school, the funniest thing that happened whenever me and Cameron when I was in 8th grade and when Cameron was in 7th grade. I remember it was this dude named, you remember Freddie Cameron?
Yeah.
I remember Freddie was really, really messy. So he got into fights with everybody. He literally got into a fight with everybody. In
eighth grade, I had ended up punching his face into a locker.
Jesus Christ! You know, I mean, he was a jerk. He deserved it because he was a scumbag. But I remember like the funniest moment that happened with Freddie was like one time we all went to the principal office because he lied about something. He was a liar.
And you called me and Michael to the office.
I called you and Michael to the office because he was sitting lying. And I think the funniest thing to me was when he was sitting lying to the principal, and you and Michael were just like, Freddie, you're lying. Just stop lying.
Yeah, I was like, you're lying. And me and Michael were like that.
And his face, he got so nervous and like he started like stuttering and messing up his words because y'all called him out on it. That eventually just like I think they just let me go because they was like, yeah, this is kid. He's a dirty, filthy liar. It was funny. I don't like you. I don't like you, Corey.
I do. I haven't even said anything.
Yeah, maybe that's why. Yeah, that was a funny story. That was funny.
Yeah, Freddie was a hoe.
Ben is a hoe. Yeah. But yeah. Anybody else? Anybody else got any funny issues to debacle?
You remember when that dude knocked my stuff out? Knocked my stuff down?
I remember that was another one of the best moments. Like me and Cameron were like sitting in front of the lockers at Welch, and I forgot what happened, but we were just sitting.
No, the dude, we were just talking, and then he just smacked all my stuff down, and I looked at him. He was laughing, and I was like, "Pick it up." And then he stood there laughing, and I told him again, "Pick it up." And then I was stood there. He knew I was going to swing on him.
I would have laughed too.
My hand.
I thought it was so funny because like back then Cameron looked even crazier than he does now, and Cameron would just like pick it up, and the dude was just sitting laughing, and Cameron he just looked at me and he was like, pick it up. Oh, I remember the middle school days. I remember we had that stupid teacher, Mr. Amici, who like hated. I think he just hated like our group for some. I don't know why he just hated our group for some
Dude,
reason.
I remember Mr. Amici.
Yeah, you had him. He was a scumbag.
No, I never had his class.
Okay, lucky you. He was a scumbag. Did you have
Yeah.
Did you have Mr.
Because I was like really being rebellious in 7th grade. I never went to because I was in the 8th grade classes when I was in 7th grade. That's why I mentioned Mr. Amici in 7th. But I never went to the advanced classes for 8th grade because of that.
Did you do you remember Mr. Ojical? Mr. O, I think his name was like Mr. Okunmokin or something like that. And I'm not even trying to like, I'm not even joking. His name was like.
Did you just call me?
I said, do you remember Mr. Okunmokin or whatever?
Why are you speaking moon speak to me?
Who?
Moon cricket speech, man.
I'm not speaking moon cricket. Like the teacher's name was like Mr. O or something. No, do you remember Mr. Harris?
Fuck is that?
He was the math teacher with dreads.
No.
Okay.
Wait, he's in 8th grade?
No. He I think he taught me when I was in 7th grade.
Oh. I was about to say there's this dude with dreads, and I was getting kicked out of his class every day in 8th grade.
Wait, what?
Math class.
I think you might have had the same math teacher then, because I mean he could have moved up.
He wasn't African, no. He was black.
No, he wasn't African. He was a black man. I remember he taught us.
He was a tall dude.
I don't remember if he was taller. I just remember that he had dreads, and I think me and him got along because of that. I think that's the only reason I got along with that teacher. Speaking of math, though, I still just want to complain about that. Y'all do know that.
It's not high school anymore, man.
It's not high school. I understand, but it's
Look, we didn't learn math. That's the end of it. We're stupid.
It's just we just got messed over. We just don't know math, and I'm not sure how we're gonna survive in the real world without it.
We're surviving now.
Wait, Michael, are you being serious?
Yeah, no, okay.
No,
see,
dude,
Cameron, you didn't get
the math you learned. The math you learned in middle school is enough to survive on like in the actual.
We're surviving now.
That's ridiculous. That's being hyperbolic. It's like you don't need high school education to actually make it in life like normally. That's just
really
bullshit
don't.
Spread. That's just bullshit. It's spread.
Take it
Like I said, by the time you got into high school,
Who?
by the time you got by the time you got into late middle school and rest of high school, it's just babysitting until they can get you out because you're an adult.
I mean, I guess, but it's like hard for me to do college because I failed my math.
Okay, yeah, I get
failed
that.
My math
Now,
course in college because I just didn't know what I was doing.
Oh yeah, no.
I thought you were talking about like,
but yeah.
I thought you were talking about like the real world. College, yeah, because they're making you do even more advanced.
You know, like
stuff.
like when I took my math course, like I looked like I think the beginning was like he told us the beginning was algebra 1. And then after that, I just didn't know what I was doing. So I was just like, I physically can't do this. But yeah, no, Mr. Alcantara, he messed us up. He messed us up big time if we want to do college, and at least math wise.
It wasn't just him. We didn't learn geometry, and we didn't learn algebra 2.
Okay, yeah.
People will be failing. People will be failing at Welsh in 8th grade, and they just passed. They're like, we just got to get these kids out.
I mean, I think that happened throughout. I think in middle school is when that started happening. Because I remember there were some classes that I should. Because I remember it was this one class in middle school. The only thing that I did was read. Like every time I got into the class, she gave me. Y'all remember the book Animorphs?
No. I watched the TV show.
Okay, I watched on the show too, but she gave like every time I got into her class, she would give me an Animorphs book, and I would read it the entire class period, and I never did work in her class, and I don't even know how I passed the class, because I never did work. She would always just give me an Animorphs book, and then that would be it. Like
maybe she thought you were retarded.
Well, back then they had the No Child Left Behind Act thing.
I mean, they still technically have it.
No, they got rid of it.
Little animal book.
They waste so much of our times, man.
I mean,
like growing up on bullshit.
I mean, they really do, because realistically, after 5th grade, we really don't need school anymore.
You know, how many times have I told you that?
Yeah, like thinking about it, no, it's true. Like after 5th grade, we really don't need school anymore. Like a lot of the stuff that they teach us is like
I said,
pointless.
Like once you learn how to read, write, do basic math, you're good. Now, if you want to go pursue something more specific, like a trade or something, yeah, you need more education or whatever those trades require.
And not even like really for some of the trades.
Getting a job at Walmart or some corner store or some fast food place, you don't need anything higher than elementary education to do that. Like it's just this weird stupid requirement that they have. Just like high school, just like college is now seen as a requirement when that's absolutely ridiculous. It's just more babysitting.
I don't know why it's like a requirement. It doesn't really even like help us with like a lot of the stuff in life. Like there are people who have college degrees and like they've gone through college, they've done all this stuff, and they're like kind of stuck because they just don't have a job now. All they did was waste their time, and now they can't get a job because they went to college.
Well, the only reason why they can't get a job is because they probably don't have any experience in what they want to do.
How are they
didn't
going
do
to get
shit.
Experience if they don't hire them?
They should have did an internship.
There should be an internship industry, and I actually think college is becoming obsolete because the internet is making it completely irrelevant. And everybody goes to college, and it really means nothing now, because it used to be that an elite couple of either rich or really intelligent people went. Now that's not the case. Everybody goes. It's high school premium version. So
that's actually kind of how I felt at HC. I said like when I was at HC.
What I think is going to happen is corporations are going to start seeing that a college degree doesn't mean anything because nobody there is coming out with any skills. So they just have these numbers and these formulas in their head. They don't know how to do anything. So they're gonna just start making internships for themselves. Like they're just gonna open up internships to corporations. They're gonna start doing that and just hire. And they're gonna get people straight out of high school that are 18 that are willing to just work and work from the bottom up, instead of getting people that are 20, 22 and think they deserve some full blown salary, who they know better than an 18-year-old and what in terms of the skills that they have to do the job. I think we're gonna start seeing a lot of internships crop up for people straight out of high school.
Wow.
I would hope, because I don't think I ever even heard of getting an internship. Like I don't think I knew what an internship was until I was in like 12th grade. Because I'm thinking like this because inevitably they're gonna recognize college is obsolete. It's not useful. The internet combined with the fact that everybody goes and it's not really bringing anybody out with any skills. They're gonna realize it's obsolete. Like it's just a premium version of high school. Like honestly, if you really wanted to learn anything, all you really have to do is just search it up. Get on the internet. That's all you have to do. But that's a side tangent. I'm making the point. That's why I believe that everybody's gonna recognize college is obsolete. There's no way that the world's gonna just be able to turn a total blind eye to the fact that this thing that sucks up so much of young people's money is useless for most of them. So they're gonna pick up on it at some point. And then they're gonna
need it. And so we spend money on it.
No. It's not everybody. That's why I'm making the point. It's people. It's in academia. It's the academics. They have an investment in it. They're gonna get money from you for going to the school, but eventually the corporations are gonna pick up on the fact that it's useless, and they're not gonna care what the teachers or the academics want. and they're just gonna say, okay, we're gonna have these internships for like young people straight out of high school, and college people are gonna just stop going to college. Like it's already happening. Men have been dropping out of college more and more and more. There's less men going to college than ever before. It just keeps dropping, and I'm saying that's because they're picking up on the fact that it's useless.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, and not only is it useless, it's just unnecessary losses of money because like this how I feel. Okay, so like after we graduated, me and Jacory, we went to college, and just about the rest of our friends, they didn't. And from what I see, like of course you had to deal with like real life stuff, like they have bills and stuff that they need to pay, like stuff like that. But it's just like me and him are like we're in debt now, and there's nothing.
I don't even say. No, I'm not even saying go get some regular job at some minimum wage place. You can go get a trade. You can go to a trade school.
You can do that. Yeah, you can get a trade, and it will be much easier. It's much easier and quicker for you to get a trade because
a huge reason people go to college as well is because it's more respectable. You're seen as a better person, smarter.
I don't see. See that's the stupid internet standards where it's like, oh, if you don't do this,
You said internet.
Well, yeah, not internet. I'm sorry.
No, it's always been like that. It's like humans always have these irrational beliefs about what makes you a better person. Like back in the day, Chinese aristocrats used to not cut their nails because it showed that they didn't have to work on the fields like the other poor people. So their nails never broke.
Like the other
like they'd have to work on the rice paddy fields like the commoners and stuff. Like we've always had these little status symbols that are completely useless, but like they used to bind I forgot what Asian culture, but they used to bind the girls' feet and make them like all deformed and keep them the size that they were when they were like 3
I know
or 4.
what he's talking about. They used to wrap their feet up and then squeeze them into these tiny shoes because that was beauty to them.
That's awful.
That's something. That's what I'm making point. Humans have always had these irrational status symbols they're not functional in reality, but we have them just to be like, yes, we're better than the others. And college is one of them.
It's like this.
Now, it used to be useful, but now it's not. It's just a status symbol, useless status symbol.
Because like a lot of people, like if you actually want to do something, you have to go get like master's degrees and stuff like that to get jobs. Like a regular I forgot.
But I'm like, I'm an example. Am I stupid?
No, you're not at all.
I'm making the point. That's why I'm like, it's not just only retarded people don't go to college. That's a meme that actually most young people know is not true, but older people don't.
And that's kind of the frustrating thing because they want to make you do it because they of course it can help some people, that's true, but not everyone.
Yeah, like I said, if you're going to be a doctor, an engineer, a scientist of some sort, go to college, obviously. But most people aren't doing that. Most people are going to go get jobs that they could have gotten an internship at, or they could have just gotten hired at and started working.
How easy?
So I'm like, you should just do that.
How easy it is to get like an internship or something?
No, it's not easy right now. But I'm saying eventually, I think that culture is going to start getting bigger as more and more people pick up on the fact that college is like useless. It's going to be a snowball effect where more and more people are going to pick up on it, and then eventually it's just going to everybody's going to know, and they're going to stop going. And then it's going to just actually be left for people that are going there for to be scientists, engineers, doctors.
What do y'all think is going to happen? Cause okay, y'all know how older people, they saw a big change, a big shift in technology and stuff, and how a lot of things have changed. What do you think is going to happen in our lifetime? What do you think is going to happen with that for us?
Wait, do you mean technology or how it's going to affect us socially?
Well, both technology and how it's going to affect us socially. Because it
okay, I think the internet. I think almost everything is going to become virtual. Money, I don't think we're going to have physical money anymore. Eventually, when we're I think we're either when we're in our 40s or to 60s, basically money won't exist. I think it's going to become really uncommon probably in our 30s, but I think it won't even exist. Not in our 30s, but our probably late 30s, early 40s. But by the time we're old, money just won't even be a thing. It'll just be oh, that's an old neat relic, but nobody's gonna actually use it. It's gonna all be digital.
What makes you think that?
Because I think the internet is just so much more efficient in every way than most physical things. In terms of money, shipping, communication, it's just better in every way.
What we have then, though?
I mean, somebody could not move, and they could they can get their groceries taken to them. Then we have to leave their house. But what'd you say?
We technically already have that now because it's like
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
At Walmart.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we have a lot of that stuff now, but I mean like the big I mean it's already happening slowly already as it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's gonna eventually just snowball, and we won't use physical money anymore. That's what I eventually I think it's gonna get to that point.
I think that's kind of
and
I don't know if it's just me, but I'm the type of person that doesn't like every single change like that. I actually still don't mind getting paper.
This isn't about this isn't about what we like. I'm just saying what's probably gonna happen.
Yeah, I know.
It kind of sucks.
I mean, it could. That's kind of sad. I don't think we're gonna have like no apocalypse or anything, do y'all?
Huh?
We probably will.
Here, dude.
I mean,
hey, what?
I mean, Trump and Kim, they.
If we do, I'm killing you first.
Wait, I mean, Trump and Kim, haven't they didn't they come to a
They
peace?
made some sort of peace.
Because I know the North Korean and South Korean war is over now because Trump he made peace with them, and then I know not Trump, Kim made peace with the whoever the dude's name is, but then after that, like shortly after that, I remember I saw it on TV. Trump and Kim were together, and I was like, please don't do that. That's gonna get us killed. I was so scared.
Dude, I wanted World War III.
Why?
Why?
Nigga, what?
Give shit to listen.
We would suffer the consequences.
Dude, you think I care about what happens to us?
Oh yeah, I forgot. You
Okay.
said you're talking about how the technology was changes socially. Another thing I think is going to happen is because of how much information is on the internet. I think institutions of education that are legitimate will actually be formed on the internet, and I think even kids schools will become less common, and more people will start homeschooling their kids with the assistance of the internet. I think they're still going to exist until we're dead, but I think it's going to become less common. I think it's going to be common to run into like 1/3 of kids are like homeschooled like on the internet or something. I think it'll become more common.
I think they might have it to where like kids go to elementary school, and after that it's like a lot of homeschooling.
Look, I think from jump, because people are gonna have more education. They're gonna know more about how the kids are kind of being brainwashed in school with a lot of things that are just false about history, as an example, and they're not gonna want to take them there. So I think it's gonna be I think it's become more and more that people just never went to normal school. I think that's what's gonna be.
People that get homeschooled, they're usually smarter.
I'm not gonna agree with that. Shemesh got homeschooled.
Dude, didn't he get homeschooled in high school?
Yeah, he got homeschooled.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about from Jump Street. People who are educated, they know about how not corrupt necessarily, but how shitty the education system is. What?
Nice.
Okay.
Rude.
They know how shitty the education system is, and they're just gonna educate the kids with the internet. I think that's gonna be what ends up happening.
I mean,
yeah, I think a lot of days, like videos help out the kids, but they have like a lot of online programs to help out younger kids, and it helps them thrive more when they're in school.
And in terms of socializing, I think they're gonna be there's gonna start to be like these organizations that they're like the YMCA of some sort, except it's gonna have more to do with like kids' interests, so they can meet people with their interests, kids their age, and that's how they would get a social. I think that's what's gonna happen in terms of socializing, because we don't actually need school for socializing either. You just form these little organizations for the kids with shared interests.
A lot of people have online. A lot of people make friends online and stuff, like when they play games and stuff. Or like
I'm talking about for like little kids. I'm talking about for little kids. Because little kids want. As I'm saying, little kids. I think it's better and more healthy for them to form like physical in real life relationships with other kids, so they can develop healthily.
And, they learn a lesson from that.
I don't agree.
They fall in the straight their lead. They no. If we shelter them too much, they don't learn anything. They don't get any experiences. That's what technology would prevent.
Yeah, they do need to. To some degree, they do need to learn how to interact with real people in the real world. So they should be growing up with physical kids but not just any random kids, but kids who have interests with them.
I do know a kid. I do know
because in high school, not high school, but like in school in general, how it is that random people of the same ages, they can be totally different mentally, from totally different economic backgrounds. They're just random people who are slumped together, and things are gonna go down.
I mean, I know what you're talking about, because kids do need to have like interaction with people, like different, like in real life. Because it was this one kid who I knew, he was homeschooled like his entire life. He never really had friends. And I think the first quote unquote friends that he made was me and Doug. And I'm not gonna even lie and say like we were friends with him. It's not because I didn't want to be. It was just like I'm kind of mean for it, but it was just kind of weird. And it wasn't his fault. It's because
he was homeschooled.
It was because his parents sheltered him from like everything. He really didn't know what to do. Like he was just like really weird about how he did stuff. He didn't know how to like survive socially.
And I think in terms of that, there should be government requirements for like people to like get into programs where like it's some kind of hobby they have interest in, and they go in programs with kids their age, and they interact with them.
You're talking about like
camp?
Camps.
I was gonna say.
Like camps and like every weekend they go off and like they go to this, or every 3 days, like every other day or something, they go off and they spend a day at this like little like let's say soccer game, like soccer they play, they have a soccer game together,
football, stuff like that.
Or they're all in a comics, so they all like spend days like working on comics with each other, like whatever their interest is. Like they have other kids with those same interests, and they have formed friends based off of that.
That would be good, but they do also need to like.
Yeah,
I guess.
I don't think they need to get beat up though. I don't think that's good for kids.
That's part of life.
Yeah,
I mean that is part of life, but I don't think you should just.
I think hold up.
Somebody might just
Look, obviously they will have
of course they're gonna be bullies in life. That's true.
Other kids. No, not bullies. I'm talking about they will obviously have altercations with other kids at these places.
It doesn't mean that they should.
Look,
but it'll happen no matter what you do.
About? I didn't say they should. Nobody should even be.
I'm not
born.
saying
like,
that
this,
they should be
this
forced
isn't a
to like
argument.
get into a fight.
Wait. You said you don't think people should be born? Why not?
No, I said there is no. I said you're talking about should. I'm not talking about should. We do plenty that aren't that. You're making this argument that.
Right.
I don't see where you're arguing with the points I'm making. School is largely inefficient. It's kind of a waste of time, and I'm offering a counter to this whole school system.
Whichever going.
I don't really see what the problem is.
Like if you could change, like if you could go into politics and do it, would you?
Huh?
If you could go into politics and do it, would you do it?
No, it's so corrupt. There's no way I'm gonna like.
Well, I'm saying, would you like try to like fix it? Would you try to fix it?
Huh?
Would you like try to fix it though?
Look, at some point, if one of my artistic works get me some kind of money and fame, I would try to. I would definitely talk about reform the education system, because it's just destroying people. It's destroying people, and it's making our nation less efficient than it could be if we had a better system to raise people. So I would definitely advocate that and like be out there talking about it, but I would not go into politics.
Okay. So you wouldn't make any attempts to like actually change it?
No, I wouldn't, dude. If I'm out there putting my money behind like this organization,
I take that back. You would be trying to change.
Yeah, I just wouldn't do it through I would not do it through politics. That's just a corrupt shithole.
Okay, this is something that I've wanted to do. We're going a little bit over time here, but this is something that I've wanted to do. I'm not sure if I would ever be able to do it. I'm not sure if I would ever be able to do this. Like there's something that needs to be done about there's something that needs to be done about our politics, like our government, because it's so corrupt and it's so money hungry. Like
I don't think that's ever gonna get fixed.
I don't think no.
Yeah, no, I think it's human. I think it's human nature for things to like government systems to eventually become corrupt, ruling powers and classes to eventually become corrupt. I don't think there's really a fix. So yeah.
Why not?
I think it's a Sisyphean task of like cleaning something up. Then people are just gonna go ruin it and mess it up again. Then you got to go clean it up again. That's what I think it is.
Yeah.
Because why? I think it's just human nature. So until you fundamentally change how our scheming brains work, it's not gonna actually change in any significant way. So that's why I think it doesn't. It's not gonna change unless you change our actual psyche. How humans work.
That's what I was gonna say. You don't think humans could like physically, like not physically, mentally change?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If we genetically alter ourselves, I think that can happen. Okay, so if we have,
why does it have to be
genetic, because like we have a certain set of like programming in our brain that can't be broken. Like we're not these completely like agents that can do absolutely anything. We are animals ultimately that are bound to our programming. We're animals that are bound to, like, I'm being real.
Not every human is like that, though.
We're animals that are bound to our programming, and we can't completely shake it. That's what I'm saying. Like, people aren't going to stop being selfish. They're not going to stop using power that they have to do whatever they want, even if it hurts other people, because that's how we're wired. So that's what I'm saying. We would have to change how that fundamental process in our brain functions so that we could actually fix the problem.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So what I'm hearing is we're living in a simulation.
I don't think. Okay, that's a scary thought to think.
That's not what I said.
Okay.
I know.
Do y'all think?
It's just, if you were talking about wiring and stuff.
I don't think we're living.
Yeah. I'm talking about how we're programmed, like not literally programmed, but like by how we've evolved.
The way the human mind is. The way the human mind is.
Yeah, by how it's been crafted. Yes.
All right.
I was just trying to bring a joke into it.
It's not funny. But that's time for us, people. Hope you guys liked the Yorkshine podcast. Don't forget to tune in next time with your nice tall glasses of Yorkshine. And we'll see you later. Goodbye.